Good afternoon from the beautiful Pacific Northwest. My name is Blake Adams, and I am at the beginning of a month-long water-only fast. So why would somebody want to do that? I'll get into it, the more details later, but the gist of it is I want to reach my full measure, the best that I can be. I want to be as healthy, as strong, as enduring, as lean, as muscular, as athletic. Basically, if I can be awesome, I want to be it. So don't mean that in a arrogant way, or rather sort of a why not? I mean, if I can be super strong and super muscular and super happy and able to run forever without getting tired, why wouldn't I make the effort? So fasting definitely has a lot to do with that. I am going to make a video one day for as long as I am on this fast. It ends when my body gets hungry again. That's the only rule. So that could be 3 weeks or a couple of months. I don't really know. I definitely have enough body fat to fuel me for 1 to 2 months. A little bit about who I am. I'm 41 years old. I have 7 kids. My wife did all the hard work on that. I'm not taking credit. Live in the Pacific Northwest on an island just a little bit east of Seattle called Bainbridge Island. It's a very beautiful place to live. At one point I was nearly 400 pounds when I was around in my late 20s. Typical story, had a very athletic job and early 20s, and then things changed to where I was more sedentary for work. And next thing you know, I got fat fast. Lost a lot of weight, got down to around the low 200s, probably around I would say the average about 220. And that was it. I mean, that definitely wasn't where I wanted to end. I wanted to end where I was like, hello, six pack, want to look good, you know? Never got there. And despite a lot of effort, I never pulled it off. So my first attempts at fasting, attempt 1 was 3 days. Second after that was 6. My last one was 17. This one's longer. We're all partially to help lose weight, but honestly, it was also very much to help address emotional stability and to become healthier, stronger, to attain what we often refer to as emotional intelligence, how to react really well and in a healthy manner to whatever life has to throw at us. Fasting will take every insecurity, every problem, every fear, every anxiety that you've got, of every kind, emotional, spiritual, physical, and it will gift wrap it and it will shove it up your nose. Pretty much. It's wonderful in that way. The benefit of that is that you get to deal with all these things in one powerful, effective manner. Yeah, you're incredibly healthy. You attain a level of healing and autophagy that cannot be really achieved in any other way. You lose a lot of weight. I would always look at that as a side benefit. But if you want to really clean yourself up and much more than reset, but make yourself stronger, then this is the way to go. What do I want from this physically? My stated goals are I want to be lean, muscular, I want to look good with my shirt off, and more than anything, I want to be enduring. I want my body to last. I want to be ridiculously healthy until moments before I die of old age. Emotionally, yes. If you let it, long-term fasting is going to bring it all out. All your insecurities, all your fears, everything. You will feel it. A lot of times you won't even realize what you're feeling. But you're going to feel it. It's not cool. It comes out whether you like it or not. It's a great way to deal with these things, this emotional baggage and issues and damage and trauma. If you deal with it, it's coming out. Fasting is not just physical. Spiritual, definitely. It's one of those powerful benefits that you only get from fasting if you're mindful of it and you go for it. Otherwise, you totally miss it. I'll address that again later. All these different things in different videos coming up. But what I wanted these videos to do for other people was to do a day by day. How do I feel on day 1, 5, 10? I'm also going to go through my journals from my prior 17-day fast and compare it to what I've done this time. So people that are actually legit trying to do this, they can succeed. They have some not just theoretical feedback, but feedback from somebody who's done it and is, in this case, doing it. taking pictures of the scale on my body every day, and I'll find a way to share those. How did I prepare? In the last couple of times that I fasted, the gist of how I prepared was stopped eating. That was about it. I learned the hard way that really is, that's a bummer. That is no good. I learned during this last 17-day fast that much of the symptoms and the pain you experience up front is not from fasting. It's not from getting away from food as much as it is pure old carb withdrawal. That's nasty. And you can go through that before you start fasting. That's what I did this time, is I went on a full, extreme ketogenic diet. So 0 carbs, not counting dietary fiber. And I did that for the last 11 days. And at this point, I feel totally stable. So I feel like I'm totally normal. Although, yeah, I had the keto flu, I had all that fun stuff, but I was still eating. And that allowed me physically and emotionally to adapt to that major part of a long-term fast, which is getting adapted to burning fat. So I did that. That was huge. Also for the last couple of years, but especially in the last 6 months, I've been very mindful and very aware of my relationship with food. My goal has been to get to the point that I thoroughly enjoy every bite that I eat, and that every bite that I eat is exactly what my body needs, and that there's no disconnect between the two. That I get to the point that I love food, and I only want and need and actually eat the food that my body needs to thrive. I don't eat anything beyond that. No food for the purpose of gratification or filling a need or anything like that, but just true, healthy, solid relationship with food. I've made a lot of progress. I've been fighting it for a couple of decades now, and when I nail it, I'll let you know. But I've made huge progress. I can definitely say that. How do I feel today? This is transition week. Transition from a fed state to a fasted state. Lasts on average 7 to 10 days, different for everybody. And one rule of thumb is the harder it is, the more you needed to do it. It's kind of sad, but it's the truth. Today's day 1 for me. I'm not even at 24 hours. So am I feeling anything? No, I'm not even hungry, honestly. I'm probably hour 20 about. And thanks to the ketogenic approach to eating so far, I'm really not feeling it yet. I'm expecting I'll probably feel some form of hunger in the next day or two. That was what I did mostly for getting ready for this transition. And so far it's been huge, because on day 1 last time, I was feeling it by now, the symptoms of fasting. Also, I'm in a place, the lockdown definitely helps, where I can take this next week easy. One thing I learned from the first 17-day fast was don't push it during the first week. It felt a lot like I had, to put it simply, kind of a generic approach. I had 10 units of energy during those days. And if I spent below 10 units of energy, I was fine. If I spent 11, my body was like, you moron, I'm going to make you suffer. And I'm going to take 2 or 3 days to get back on track. So in my typical approach, I kept on spending 12 units of energy, which I could totally do when I'm eating. But when I'm in that transition, no. When your body tells you you're done, and don't argue with it, or it really will hurt. Like, your body will feel sick and nauseous because you overdid it. With time, after a week or so, yeah, my energy capability rose, and it will rise. And then I'll still be smart about how much fuel I'm burning. How do I feel today? I feel great, and I'm looking forward to it. I'll address this later, but I have made the decision to complete the fast. I feel calm. I've recognized that it is the right thing to do. That honestly, in the long term, it is the easier option compared to struggling for a couple of years to figure it out. It's worth it emotionally. It's worth it physically. It's just worth it across the board. Will it be hard? Yeah, great. Bring it. I've done harder things. And this is no different. I'm going to do better. I'd also, in the future, like to address the power of fasting on addiction. it resets every aspect of addiction in a way that it doesn't matter what kind, chemical, behavioral, whatever, that can really help you become a new person. Lastly, before I sign off for today, is sustainability. I was nearly 400 pounds when I was 26, 27 years old, and that wasn't cool. Did not do good for anything, energy, self-image. I felt tired all the time. I didn't really know it because I was used to it. That boiling frog effect. Sexually, not cool. Being obese doesn't do good things down there, buddy. But I was unwilling to even start a diet or a change if I didn't believe I could make it permanent, which ruled out 80, 90% of what was out there. I did end up trying most diets, most approaches, everything. But I am stubborn in that I won't do it unless I understand it. So it took me a long time to really go low carb, understand what that means and how to do it. And I learned that when it comes to nutrition, if it's online, it's probably not true. And it's never one size fits all or unique, but that it is absolutely possible to find the ideal way to take care of your body. And that my way of doing it is not yours, but there are principles that will guide you to that knowledge that are consistent to everybody. And I'd love to get into those. Actually working on a book on those right now. It's part of the fast. So that's what I'm going for. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be painful. It's going to feel good. And I'm totally looking forward to it. In the interest of keeping videos on the shorter side, I'm going to limit myself to one topic per day, sharing what I've learned over the last many years of fasting and experimentation and reading and research and trying to bring it all together. And I'm going to do it while I'm actually in an extended fast, so that all the websites, all the videos, and all the crap you see about fasting from people who have never gone 24 hours without food, you can see through it. I'm not selling anything. I'm never going to endorse a product. This is real. This is just me. My intent is to reach my full measure of who I can and will be. And this is a tool that I believe will help me do that. And signing off until next time, and hopefully it'll be a pleasant 24 hours until tomorrow. We'll see you then.